What is up? I am Eric and you are watching Resell Pickups. In this video, we are showing you what I sold this past week. I've got some really cool stuff from a Nascar jacket to vintage hats to a ton of shoes, all that in this video. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell notification. With that being said, let's check it out. Okay, so I haven't shipped any of this stuff because I kind of shipped some stuff early on. But all these are stuff that I'm going to ship today. So this is all from this past week, and I've been collecting a bunch of stuff, and this is what just happened to have sold. So this kind of video series is meant to show you what I sell and kind of how much I get it or I sell it for. And I have started selling on eBay as well, so you'll see one thing from that sold there this week. So I've got Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, all of those things. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and break it down into sections. So we'll talk about Poshmark first, then go to eBay, and then we'll finish up with Mercari. Now, Poshmark happened to be the one that I sold the most in, and eBay was the least with that one item. But I just started listing on what was a Thursday or Friday, so that's not too bad right there. So let's go ahead and dig into it. I've got my cell phone here as well, so we can talk about the prices that they sold for. So let's start with Poshmark, and I have some vintage hats that ended up selling. The first one that sold was this Sturgis 1996 hat. I sold it for $20. I paid $6 for that, so that is definitely well worth it right there. And continuing on with the vintage hats, Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. This is a fitted hat. It says the Mighty Ducks #1 on the back. $22 for that. Again, $6, totally well worth it. And last but not least of the hats is a Harley Davidson hat here. It is a snapback. It kind of looks like a 5-panel hat, but it's not. This sold for $21 actually, which again, all three of those hats came from the same lot. I paid $6 per hat, so I'm definitely happy with that. So we've got shoes coming up next. So to start off, I want to talk about these Brooks that sold. These Brooks sold for $25, which is an absolute good deal. I want to say I picked these up for $8, maybe $9 for these. But right there, that's totally well worth it. There's no rips, no tears. Everything looks good. These shoes look great. And so whenever I saw these, you know, I had to pick them up. I picked them up at the not at the flea market, at the local Goodwill, and so I'm pretty happy about that. Next is these Sperry's. Now these are ones that I've had for a little bit, honestly, but they sold, and I'm very happy they sold. These are nice looking shoes. They sold for $19. I paid $8, so that's more than double my money there, which makes me happy. Let's continue on with some more shoes. Now these two shoes were in a bundle, and so I put them at what they were listed for. I want to say I sold them for about $5 less. These Jordans are kids Jordans. They sold or were listed for $25, so let's say $18 that they sold for. That's a good deal right there. And then these Asics, these also sold with them. I had these listed for $27, but knocked down those $3, $25. I took off $2 for the other ones and $3 for these just to kind of call it good, and so I'm pretty happy with that as well. These were $8 when I bought them, and I sold them for $24. That's definitely well worth it. Now we've talked about the shoes and the hats. Let's go ahead and move on to the clothing. Now I've got it all right here, and I wanted to talk about it. So first off, I picked this up in December, honestly. It was after Christmas and all that, and I saw this. It was only like $3, and so I picked it up. I sold it for $18, and that is this. It's an extra small R2-D2 Christmas sweater. I'm surprised I sold this. Next week is July, so I'm not complaining there at all. I picked up this Teach, Learn, and Surf shirt for $3 as well, and it sold for $15. It's nothing special, but I thought the design was cool, and I figured someone eventually would pick it up, and I was right, and so I'm very, very happy that sold. That ended up getting me some good money. Now next is a Carolina Panthers shirt that I paid $4.99, so $5 for, and it is new with tags. Now it does look new right there, and so I picked that up for what I said, $4.99, and I ended up selling that for $18. That's definitely well worth the money. And it has that big tag on there, so everything there is still good. Now this next shirt I paid $7 in a vintage lot, and I sold it for $21, and that is this Honolulu, Hawaii Hard Rock Cafe shirt on a Hanes beefy tag. It's a medium, but it sold pretty good, and so I'm very, very happy about that right there. And last but not least, from Poshmark, I ended up selling this vintage Nascar jacket. It's pretty sweet. Look at the back right here. That is pretty awesome. It's a 50-year anniversary from 1998. I picked this up for, I believe, $10, and it ended up selling for $31. So I'm very happy with that. I thought I didn't sell it. I picked it up kind of late in the like cold times, like when it was like February, maybe towards March. Maybe it was January, I don't remember, but I picked it up for $10, and so for $30 or $31, selling during one of the warmest months of the year here is just a good thing, and I'm very happy about that. Now moving on, like I said, eBay is something I have a love-hate relationship with eBay. I've sold on eBay before, and I've done well, and then I've had issues with it, and so I'm not always solid and comfortable with selling on eBay because they tend to side with the buyers, which oftentimes they can just lie, and it's an interesting ordeal when you're doing that, and so I try to shy away from it, but I figured I've been seeing some people do really well there, so I figured let's go ahead. I've got all this stuff already posted, and so I wanted to see kind of how it would do if I moved it to eBay and just see kind of how it does. And a shirt sold, which I was happy about, and that is this Looney Tunes Christmas Christmas shirt, and then here is it on the back. And honestly, I don't know what it was with this week. It's like everyone's picking up like Christmas related things or like jackets. I don't know. I sold a jacket, I sold a Christmas sweater, and I sold this Christmas shirt. But this Looney Tunes shirt sold for $20, and I picked it up for $3. It was $2.99. I'm not ever going to complain about that. So now we're moving on to Mercari, which we're talking about. The first thing that I sold here are shoes, and I sold a pair of Asics. These are the gel, which ones are these? Gel Torrents. These sold for $20. No, sorry, $23. I have to look at my phone. If I keep looking down, I'm looking at the prices. $23 right here. These Asics, I paid $8.99 for these, if I remember correctly. I know where I picked them up from, so I just assume $8.99 because that's what they usually price these shoes at. So selling these for $23 to me is well worth it. I'm just doing this by myself, and so if I at least double my money, I'm happy, but there are times when I always try to do more than that, but it just doesn't always work out like that. Okay, so I've got the clothing here. I've got a pair of Adidas pants. These are like athletic pants. They're just pretty basic, but they were $3.99. So for $4, I picked these up, and they ended up selling for $18, which is totally worth it because $4 to $18 is definitely within my margins. Now next is another long sleeve shirt or jacket type thing. This is a Calvin Klein shirt. I picked this up from Goodwill. It was $4.99, and it sold for $16. Now this has been sitting for a while, so I got an offer for $16, and I said, why not? That's at least double my money, which really, after fees and stuff, it's a little bit more than that, but I'm pretty happy about that. And last but not least is a bundle that came through, I want to say on Thursday or Friday. they were wanting a little bit more than, or I guess a little bit less than I was wanting for these, but we ended up settling at a price, and so each one of these ended up being 20 bucks each. The first being this vintage Harley Davidson shirt. It's a long sleeve shirt from Minnesota. It's 1992. I think this is pretty cool. It looked really cool. It's a vintage shirt, like I said, so I paid $7 for that, so 7 into 20 is totally well worth it there. And then again, it's another vintage shirt, this vintage Nike shirt. It's just like a little like short crop top, I would assume, for women. That was again $20, which is definitely well worth it because I paid $7 for it. And last but not least, again, this is a Nike vintage shirt. It does have the size tag, so I put it as new with tags because no one's ever worn this, so I'm very happy with that. And that sold for $20 as well. So you guys, I just started this channel. I just started this series about what sold this week, and I'm gonna continue to do this every week. If stuff sells, I'm gonna bring it to you. If it's 2 items, we'll still talk about it. Maybe I'll do something else. But if it's weeks like this, where we had about 25 items sell, I'm definitely happy about that. So with that being said, if you like this video, go ahead and comment down below and let me know what you think was the best thing that sold this week and what you have sold as well. I wanna know, are you reselling and are you finding stuff to resell and are you selling stuff, honestly? Because that's really what matters. You can go and pick it up and take pictures and do all that, but if it's not selling, it's just not worth it. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you know when I post more videos. And honestly, one more time, thank you so much for watching and make sure you have a good day.